Morning. It's Thursday, October 7th. And there's a question that I have to ask everybody out there. What are we really trying to do in this country right now? And I am referring to the infrastructure bills and the social infrastructure bill or the reconciliation bill or whatever they want to call it. Do you think that it's logical that we should attempt to fix everything in one fell swoop? We don't have the money to do everything in one fell swoop like they're trying to do. So it doesn't make any sense to me why we have to consider so many different things as immediate disasters. We have been living in this situation for years. We didn't have anything remotely like universal health care for years. And now we have the Affordable Care Act, which I don't think is the greatest thing in the world, and I don't think is affordable. And so I'm looking at this thing and trying to prepare for current events that I do. And I'm looking through these bills, and I'm saying, why do we have to do all of this at one time? We have physical infrastructure that is a disaster, that really, really needs to be fixed. And we have certain social things that should really, really be fixed. But we don't have to put all of that together in a 10-year package that is going to cost much more than the $3.5 trillion that they're talking about. Why can't we construct a timetable that these events will take place over this period of time? And it will give everybody the opportunity to make sure that everything is done correct. And why can't that be done? Well, look at our environment. And I've said this a lot, and you all know it's true, that we are a grossly divided country. And so now the Democrats have grabbed power by the slimmest possible margin. And so they're trying to squeeze everything into this term, into this 2-year period where they are in control. And this 2-year period that has now only got 1 year left. And the Republicans are not going to give in 1 inch. They're not going to let them do anything where they need help from the Republicans. That is gone. The relationship between the two parties is virtually non-existent. There is no way that compromise is in the minds of either party. So when you look at everything that they have loaded into the social reconciliation bill or whatever the hell they want to call it, and you look at free tuition at the community college level, and child care, and pre-K, and a dozen other causes that are worthy, but they don't have to be done at one instant. But this is the instant for the Democrats because they don't know if they're going to get another shot at this thing. That's how badly this country is divided. And that's how badly the Democrats feel that they cannot turn enough people who lean Republican to see things their way for a while. But I think it's crazy to attempt to put all of this money on the table and become the world's greatest debtor nation, which we probably are anyhow. And look at the battle that we're having raising the debt ceiling. The Republicans want no part of that. They had no problem when Donald Trump was in power raising the debt ceiling for everything that he wanted to do. But now that there's a Democratic president, the Republicans want to have nothing to do with the debt ceiling. And they're going to keep us on the verge of bankruptcy and the threat of the debt ceiling hanging over our heads. Because if we fuck up the debt ceiling, our credit rating around the world is gone. nobody will trust us again. And Schumer can't get anything done because he hasn't got the manipulative powers that are needed to be the majority leader. He is not a nasty man like McConnell, and he doesn't understand the role of the majority leader. So we are in a dilemma, a gigantic dilemma, a pothole of the magnitude of all the potholes around this country. And we shouldn't be pushing so hard. Let's prove to the people that we can get something done. Let's say, okay, to hell with all of this stuff. We're going to do this, this, and this year. And it's going to cost $600 billion. And then next year we're going to do this, and that'll cost $700 billion. Because when you start talking in the trillions, you scare the shit out of people. And people question whether or not anything is worth spending that kind of money. There are many who look at the concrete by I mean positive thing, solid thing. You're fixing a bridge, we know what that is. You're paving the sidewalk, we know what that is. We're going to fill in the pothole, we know what that is. We're going to build a building, we know what that is. But when you talk about the esoteric stuff, the need for child care in some way, shape, or form, the need for universal pre-K in some way, shape, or form, nobody can truly envision what that whole package looks like. Now, free college tuition, free community college tuition is a concrete thing, but there's not many states that could probably afford to have free college tuition. I'm not necessarily in favor of free college tuition. I don't think that it gives you the impetus to want to succeed because you got nothing on the table. You haven't put down anything on the line. Now, I went to school for nothing, right? I didn't have to pay for anything. All the way through graduate school, I didn't pay a dime for any of that stuff. But times were different then, and we looked at things different. And nobody had lots of money to go to college. So going to City College was a blessing for a lot of us. It certainly was a blessing for me. So I'm not against free tuition. But somehow or other, I think if you paid a reasonable amount of money, you would feel better about yourself and you would have an idea that I have put something in, so I better produce. I got to get this thing done. So if I had a minimum kind of maybe based on family income or something like that, you could do that. And it wouldn't cost us billions of dollars. So there's lots of ways to get around these things. And maybe we shouldn't have free pre-K. That could be a minimal cost also. So I think that the things that are thrown out there and things that everybody wants have a cost. And nobody has really sat down and figured out the cost of all of these things. Even though they're telling us it won't cost us anything over a 10-year period. It's not going to cost us anything. Well, I can tell you this, anything that you get for nothing is probably worth just that much, nothing. It's okay to pay for certain things and get them done right. I'm not suggesting overpay, which is something we have to watch out for when the government is involved in things. So I ask you, what are we really trying to do? And how the hell are we going to do it? We can't correct all our mistakes in a single shot. So that's all I have for this morning, and have a great day. Bye.